Hey YouTube, we're back with another episode of Run of the Mills. I'm Noelle.
It's your boy Doug.
So we're going to be talking about our favorite up and coming artists right now. So I don't know if they're technically up and coming. To us, they're up and coming. They probably don't have like too much hype around them for the most part, but we're big on like music. We love I'm a hip hop R&B fan. I'm a really big fan of this like alternative hip hop movement. You have artists that are, like fusing like R&B beats and they're rapping over them and vice versa. Like you have R&B artists who are singing over like trap beats, kind of like how Bryson Tiller did. So I'm a huge fan of that, and we're just gonna go get into like a few artists that we're feeling right now. The first artist that I really like right now is Jorja Smith. She can really sing, which I love. She's British, I believe, right? We looked that up. Mm-hmm. She's a British artist. And I just really love that like we're getting back to women in the industry that can really sing. She sings pretty chill. I don't know her, but I feel like we can be friends. Therefore, I'm immediately a fan. I'm pretty sure she performed at Coachella, so she's like hitting the music festival scene right now, which is pretty cool. So I'm a fan. I think everybody should definitely check her out.
I definitely like Jorja Smith too. Like she's dope. I feel like her style. She kind of feels like '90s. Like, you know what I mean? Like bringing that '90s kind of R&B back, and I really like that. I'm really a big fan of people who can actually sing.
Yep.
And people who have like some nice beats to go with it. So I'm definitely a big fan too. I think she's gonna get bigger. I feel like she's definitely had like a couple features.
Yeah, like
already,
she's on that like wave right now. Like I really feel like SZA is like spearheading that right now, and her is coming up behind her, which is awesome. Like they could both really sing, and like SZA's like doing the whole like not like eclectic music, but like it's like alternative R&B.
She's pretty alternative.
Like, so I just feel like she's opening this window for other artists, R&B artists who are like soulful, but they're not necessarily like I have to be like an Alicia Keys or like. Which I love Alicia Keys.
Yeah, you have like a neo soul.
Yeah, it's not like we're moving away from the like neo soul movement. I feel like from early 2000s, like we had some really great stuff with like Alicia Keys. We had like Jill Scott, and then we kind of like fell off, I guess. Like I'm not gonna shade anybody, but I just feel like we started like getting artists that were more into like making hits rather than like really singing and like
like R&B kind of died.
Like, R&B definitely died, and I feel like we're starting to make a comeback. Like a lot of the artists on this list, I feel like are for the most part like R&B artists. I think everyone on my list is an R&B artist, and I feel like probably 5 years ago I wouldn't be able to say like this is my favorite up and coming R&B artist right now, because there really was no one. Like all we have is like Usher and Chris Brown, who are great, but like, they've already made names for themselves, and now we have like this group of artists that are coming up.
One of my favorite artists right now, who's probably a lot of people's favorite artist, because he's not really up and coming at this point. I feel like he's here. Like people know who he is. I really like Daniel Caesar. Like really, like his music is dope. It's different, because I feel like he's getting back to,
like he can really sing.
He can really sing. He has a dope voice, but it's also like he's actually singing. Like he's putting some feeling, some emotion in his song. I feel like men for a minute, R&B singers got away from that point where like people wasn't feeling no more. It was like it wasn't cool
to be a singer,
right? Or no, it just wasn't cool. You could be a singer, but you got to be singing about sex, money, basically everything that the rappers was talking about. You didn't have no D'Angelo's, you didn't have no Maxwell's, you didn't have no, it was just all club shit. So.
I also like you said, like I like how he's like in touch with his feelings, I guess. Childish Gambino is like really setting the tone for that too, as far as like male artists who can like they don't have to be so like super hard, like they can be transparent with their feelings. We get tired of hearing, like you said, the same thing, and I just feel like Daniel Caesar is like adorable, and he's like super skinny and cute. And he's so adorable. Like I just like how he just seems like a real, like you can tell he's all about his artistry, which I appreciate, and I want to give him a hug. My next artist that I love who's up and coming, who's also probably not necessarily up and coming per se, I love Kyle. In order for me to be a fan of someone, I have to like the person that they are. Like I have to feel like if I walked up to you on the street, like I have to feel like you'd be cool. Like that's why I'm a J. Cole fan, so that's why I'm a Kyle fan, because he just seems like a super cool kid. He's like Is he a kid? He's probably like 20.
Nah, he
22.
Grown man.
All right, well, whatever. He's young, but I love that he's like super positive. He has this vibe about him where he's like the happy rapper, whatever. I think that's great. Doug put me on to Kyle, so we started off with, what's his first one? Beautiful Loser. Kyle is like, look, I'm this kid from Ventura. I'm not like a thug. He knows who he is and he's sticking to it. And I feel like sometimes with rappers, and I'm using Drake as an example, they start off like one way and then they come out talking about Six God, and then they go back to another way, and then they come back talking about making diss tracks. So I just feel like I like how authentic Kyle is. So he has his first album is Beautiful Loser, then he has Smile, and he just came out with Light of Mine, which is really good. So yeah, I would just check out Kyle. He's a good guy.
All right, so this next artist I'm gonna go with is probably one that you probably haven't heard of at this point, unless you're really, really looking into some new artists. But her name is Raven Lenae. She's kind of like she's an R&B singer, but it's very alternative R&B. She's from Chicago. She has an EP out called the Crush EP. It's dope. 6 songs, all of them are dope. She has a very unique style. She's very much like, she wasn't feeling it at first, but she has songs, to me, it was dope from the second I heard it. She's kind of like, I would say she's like, her style is like an Andre 3000, kind of when he got to...
She kind of reminds me of Erykah Badu, in a way.
Yeah,
like
she's
real
very
funky.
eclectic, but kind of soulful. But her sound sounds a lot like Andre 3000 on the Love Below album. Like, it's very similar to that style, and I feel like that's the best way to describe it. But it's definitely something I feel like people should check out because she's new, she's up and coming. She has a dope voice, dope music.
So another female artist that I love right now is Ella Mai, who is very similar to Jorja Smith. They're both from the UK. But Ella Mai is starting to get like some hype, I guess. I've been hearing Boot Up a lot, which is crazy because that song came out maybe at least a year ago. Definitely think she's probably going to be next up. Like, you have SZA, you have her. I think Ella Mai is coming up next too. But Boot Up is like adorable because she's seen about being boot up. But it's a catchy song. She's I'm trying to think the name of that album is, but she has some other good ones too. Like, she has a song called Anymore that's great. She has some good stuff, and I definitely recommend checking her out as well. All right, so this next artist is somebody that we both really like. I introduced you to this artist, and we love Masego. He is also very young. Like, I think he's actually not even 21 yet. Masego is probably my favorite artist right now, just because he's so talented, like multi-talented. He plays saxophone, which is the reason why I was a fan immediately, because I'm a huge fan of smooth jazz. So the fact that he was out here playing the saxophone, he's this young kid, like anybody under the age of like 50 playing saxophone.
You gotta respect that.
Yeah,
it's
like I'm
how?
Yeah, I'm interested. And he has this video on YouTube of him creating the song Tadao, which is amazing because he's playing the keyboard, he's playing the sax, and then he's singing on the same video on the song. So he's producing his stuff, he's singing on his stuff, he's playing the instruments on his stuff. And like I said, this kid is like under 25, I'm assuming, which is super impressive. I don't think he's getting enough hype, which maybe he's not going for that, but I appreciate his artistry. At first glance, I don't think Masego is somebody that most people would probably listen to, but he definitely has a sound that I feel like most people can appreciate. He calls his sound trap house jazz. So for anybody that likes trap music or house music or jazz music, which is a lot of people, would definitely appreciate Masego.
Dope. All right, so my next artist is someone that a lot of you probably have heard of too. It's Olivia Nelson. So she's this really dope R&B artist. She has a beautiful voice. She sings "Smother Me." For those of
I
y'all
also put you onto her.
You did. You
welcome.
did. So she put me on to Olivia Nelson. Thankful that she did, because again, just an R&B chick that's really singing right now. I'm so glad that this is coming back. Like, I can't say that enough. I'm glad that we're getting back to singing. I'm glad that we get back to melodies. It's beautiful to me. I love beautiful music. I love people who can sing. So, you know, she's just an artist that I love listening to right now. Yeah.
So our last artist, and another one of my favorite artists right now, is Brent Faiyaz. I should have looked that up. Anyway,
bro, put that shit out somewhere so niggas know how to say your name, bro.
Yeah, but he's really good. I don't have very much information on this dude because he's also like, I feel like he's starting off, but he is
he's just a low. He just
yeah,
seems like
he
a
seems
low-key
like he's
dude,
pretty
bro.
low key, which I'm not mad at. I'm lying. He is from Maryland, and I know this because for those of you who have heard "Crew" by GoldLink, which is also another great artist who I'm a huge fan of. But anyway, Brent Faiyaz is the dude singing on "Crew." You see, buddy, yeah. So that's him, and he's from Maryland. GoldLink is from DC, so I'm assuming that's how they linked up. He's also another person who's multi-talented. He can sing. He's part of the producer group, duo, whatever it is, Sonder. So his first album EP project is called Sonder Sun. He has a song on there. What is it? One Night Only. And I love that song because it's giving me like this Aaliyah vibe, and like the production on it is very Timberland, Missy Elliott-esque. So anything that's giving me like any hints of like Aaliyah or some like 90s R&B, I love. So that's why I'm a fan of Brent Faiyaz, because he's like, you know, incorporating that old school that most of us love. It's very like nostalgic, but he's like updating it. So I'm a big fan.
All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for this video today. Be sure to let us know how you feel in the comment section. If you have any new tracks that you like, any new artists, be sure to leave those for everybody else down below too. We appreciate you for listening, of course.
Really cool too is like if you were an artist, because I like listening to like anybody for the most part.
Drop them SoundCloud links.
Yeah, especially if you fit in if you're a singer, like I love anybody that can sing, so let us know.
If you trash though and you know you trash, don't drop that shit. Don't do that.
You never know. We could give them some constructive criticism.
Don't do that. Be sure to like and subscribe, of course. Hit that alert button. Make sure you don't miss our next videos. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter. All that is linked below. And everybody have a good day.